TikTok, this video is for educational purposes only. Let's get in. Whoever hyped up Sinners, I'm gonna punch you in your face. This movie was a 2 out of 10. It was so trash. I mean trash. The fact that y'all are watching these movies and not even understanding the spiritual coding that this is doing to your vessel. I am disappointed in a lot of my spiritual community because a lot of them hyped this up too, and they should know better because this was such a low vibrational movie. It ain't no way that it is for a high vibrational being like myself and others that actually think clearly out the box and actually get the downloads from the universe. Because while watching this movie, I'm hearing downloads of a whole bunch of BS that is going on. So, let's break down the movie. 1. Not only did it represent women to look bad as usual, but then it represented different cultures still having the power over our people. Then it represented how a woman would let a man do anything for money. So let's start with a couple of things. Sammy was at a crossroads in his life when he had to go have his speech with his father, right? When Sammy had to make a choice, that was the first decision of the movie. He had to choose between religion and spirituality. Why do we always have to go to demonic situations in life, right? Just to choose to be quote unquote free, which technically you're still not free until you transition. But I digress. That's a whole nother different type of conversation. Sammy decides to become free, but after he becomes free, of course, now he's a sinner. Everybody that he's around is a sinner. This was a religious movie pushing another agenda on folks, yet again. But it was so many damn different religions to where a lot of y'all didn't even know which one was being pushed. It was multiple being pushed. So then after Sammy did what he had to do, he met up with his 2 cousins that were played by Michael B. Jordan. He was the twins, and as the twins, he was representing the good and the bad. The Cain, quote-unquote, Cain and Abel domino effect. That's how I see it. Just in a more loving situation. Now you had Smoke, who was the egotistical, driven, money-hungry, greedy, but spiritual person. Alright? The one that had sense. Logical sense. And then the other one was a open heart, caring businessman that made a lot of wrong choices in life, but kept each other balanced. Now this represents duality throughout the movie. This represents the yin and the yang. Each of them had their little bad situation, but it balanced itself out. You understand what I'm saying? So, the twins are representing the yin and the yang and the balance between the movie, the good and evil, right? Now, the wise man. Let's get into it. The wise man. Why in a lot of our movies, the wise man is always drunk, been incarcerated, and going through things? You have wise men that don't go through a lot of nothing. But I digress. To each his own. So the wise man, of course, why is he selling himself for $40 and unlimited beer? But our people paid to see this yet again. And I was stupid enough to believe, because our younger sister wanted to go see this movie. Shout out to Toto. And me and my son decided to go with her, watch the movie, and have dinner. And I went on and bought the tickets online. And yeah, stupid. So after that, right, then they went to go get the other young man who had a wife, and they was picking in a cotton field, right? Now in the cotton fields, they're picking, and one of the twins said, "You know what? With the money that I'm about to pay you, she'll probably let you put your little pecker in the mouth." So yet again, Stacks go and gets the other man, and he has a wife, and they had kids, but she was pregnant again. And in this part of the movie, Stacks says, "You know, I'm about to pay you so much money to where, if you do it right, she'll even let you put your pecker in her mouth." So, of course, the brother is like, "No, I don't care how much you're paying, and be respectful of my wife." And then the wife is disrespecting herself. She turns around and tells Stacks, "How much you paying?" He's going. And the husband looks at her with her mouth open. So sisters are basically selling themselves for the dollar and willing to prostitute their husbands to make sure that they have some type of money, right? And will do anything freaky just to get the money out of his pockets. This is how you see in the sisters of today. Okay, I digress. Then you have the spiritual woman that literally learned from a voodoo lady, but you're practicing hoodoo in the movie, which is two different damn situations, because one is still religious, mostly hoodoo, and the other one is spiritual. But I digress. She allows for these other twin Smoke to get into her womb, take her abundance, put in a death sentence, take on his cosmetic karma, no type of spiritual protection, didn't even spiritually cleanse this man off, but then spiritually cleansed his mojo back, rebirthed it, protected him through anything. Huh? So then, of course, you have the Ku Klux Klanmen and the Asian people over the economy again in our neighborhoods because they were staying in our neighborhoods. Then out of all the businesses that we could have started, right, we decided to start a juke joint. Then you have the dancing vampires, the singing ones, that throughout the movie they are singing certain chants, and most people in the movies didn't even catch on to that and was programming folks. Hopefully you went home and spiritually cleansed, because a lot of y'all just did not get what they were doing. Then we ain't even going to talk about the river dancing. The river dancing was a whole ritual on its own because the Irish people of the Celtic culture, that represents a power of flow, energy, abundance, right? Letting things turn into a flow of abundant energy. Then they had the storm, the lightning, and the wind going, which was Shango and Oya. So they had multiple elements of the dance representing Oshun, and the storms representing Shango and Oya, right? Which was bringing on the war, the battle, to clear the way of their path to be able to spiritually attack the people in this building. So this movie basically is letting me know. Then you had Petty, we ain't gonna, the woman that took a child that was underage, but they made it seem like he was grown, but never said his age, but you knew he was younger than her. And the woman still slept with the boy anyway and let him taste her fruit. So this is the type of movie that we still watching, and my spiritual community is hyping up because y'all are still not getting the concept of this movie. Y'all are still, even as our people, celebrating and letting a man make a buffoonery out of you all. The wise man was an alcoholic, prostitution, interracial, and we couldn't save ourselves yet again. And then towards the end, he still didn't accomplish anything. The only one that actually was the best character was Stack. because he still did it with love. That was the only high vibrational